Listening test. You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. You will have time to read the instructions and questions and you will be given time to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts.
Now turn to part 1.
You will hear a conversation about a New Year's party. First, you have some time to look at your questions 1 to 4. You will see there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion, only the conversation relating to this will be played first. Hi Sam, let's try and get it sorted out today, okay?
Yeah, sure. It's time we started working out the details.
Exactly. What should we begin with?
Date.
Okay. When is the best time to hold the New Year's party?
How about 30th of December?
I'm afraid that's a bit late.
Yeah, the day before?
Fine. 29th of December? The date of holding the New Year's party is the 29th of December, so the 29th of December has been chosen. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4. Hi Sam, let's try and get it sorted out today, okay?
Yeah, sure. It's time we started working out details.
Exactly. What should we begin with?
Date.
Okay. When is the best time to hold the New Year's party?
How about the 30th of December?
I'm afraid that's a bit late.
Yeah, the day before?
Fine, 29th of December.
And what about a venue?
In a restaurant? Which restaurant were we in last year?
Let me think. It is Tulip Garden, but I don't think it was a good choice.
Why?
The venue is too small, and we have about 30 people, more than last year.
You're right.
So how about our common room on the 2nd floor?
Great idea.
And then let's think about invitations.
All staff and all students.
How about last year's students?
What do you mean?
I know someone who has graduated already but still stays in the city. He might want to come to next month's graduation ceremony.
Fine, I will confirm the person later.
Right.
How about the cost? £15? Is that okay?
What? 50?
No, 15.
Right.
The next one is the food and drink. In my mind, it's better for us to book them from a restaurant.
Definitely. Which one do you prefer?
How about Tulip Garden?
Okay, and we should choose the menu and pay in advance by deposit. How many days in advance? A week?
A week is not enough. I think at least 7 working days.
Okay.
How much is the deposit?
I'm not sure. Maybe £80?
I think it's a little too much.
£70?
Right. Now look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen to the tape and answer the questions 5 to 10. Well, let's talk about the menu.
Yes. Appetizer first. What was it last year?
I remember there was fruit juice and onion soup. Do you want to change?
Yes, I didn't like that soup.
Maybe we can order tomato soup instead of onion soup. Is that okay?
Good.
And the next one is main course.
How about chicken or beef?
I prefer a roast dinner.
Good idea.
And the third one is vegetables.
How about a vegetable salad?
Fine. What vegetables do you prefer?
Carrot and tomato.
Yeah. And potato and corn?
Yes, I like corn. It is good for the eyes.
Really?
Yes.
And pea and onion?
Okay, and how about lettuce and cucumber?
Yes. Ladies usually like that.
That's perfect.
Then for dessert, how about traditional chocolate cake?
Why not? And ice cream?
I think mango pudding is better.
Okay, mango pudding and chocolate cake.
The last one is drinks.
I think almost everyone likes coffee.
Yes. And Sprite and cola?
Fine.
Do you think if we should prepare for some souvenirs?
We can take some photos, print them, and give them to all the people at the end of the party as a memory.
Good idea. This is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Part 2.
You will hear a conversation about a computer centre in campus. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 17. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 17.
Hi, Mary. How are things going?
Fine. And you?
Actually, I'm worried about the computer centre.
What's the matter?
Because I didn't attend the computer centre meeting yesterday.
I can tell you the information about it.
Really? You're so nice.
Well, what do you want to know?
When is the registration time of the computer centre?
It is at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. from Monday to Friday this week.
Today is Friday, right?
Yes.
Oh no.
Don't worry, you can register tomorrow morning.
But tomorrow is Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday. The registration time is 9 a.m. to 12 a.m.
That's so great.
Yes.
Do you know where the registration office is?
Yes, room 214 on the second floor of the main building.
240 or 214?
14. And you should take some documents when you go there.
What kind of documents? A fee?
No, we are registered students, so we needn't pay any fee.
Great.
You need to take your student card and one passport photo.
Okay.
And on the meeting, the lecturer told us some rules of the computer centre we have to know.
What kind of rules? Is that very important?
Yes, the first one is the opening hours.
I hope it closes late.
Right, it opens at 9 o'clock as usual and closes at 11 in the evening.
Perfect.
There is no smoking and noise in the computer centre.
Fine. Can I take some snacks?
You can only eat something in the lounge.
Then can I take my bag into the computer centre?
There is a student locker in the lounge. You may put your bag in the locker, so do remember to take a lock.
Fine.
And do not occupy the locker for more than 3 days.
Yes. May I reserve a computer?
Yes, there is a reservation system in the computer centre. You can reserve it 3 days in advance.
Fine. I'd like to know if there is a photocopier or printer in the computer centre.
Of course, on the second floor, but remember to take your student card.
Why?
Because none of the machines take coins.
Fine.
And do not use them 10 minutes before the centre is closed.
All right.
Now look at questions 18 to 20. Now listen to the tape and answer the questions 18 to 20.
Well, can you tell me where the computer centre is? In the main campus?
Do you have a campus map?
No.
Well, I'll draw a map for you. Do you have a pen?
Yes.
Well, this is the entrance, and the first building you can see is the teaching building.
Yes.
On your left is a small bookstore of our university.
Great. I just want to buy some books and CDs.
Then go east and you can see a small gym opposite to the bookstore.
A gym? Does it have a tennis court?
Sorry, I don't know.
Fine.
On the other side is the student union, and there is a lab on the east side of it.
If I want to join some societies, I can go to the Students' Union, right?
Right.
Oh, does the campus have a parking lot?
Yes, it is near to the lab and not far from the teaching building.
Great. And how about the parking fee?
Sorry, I'm not sure. Maybe £5 per hour?
Okay. And where is the computer centre?
It is opposite the student union, between the library on the left corner and the canteen on your right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Good luck. This is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Part 3.
You will hear a discussion between a business student called Marco and his personal tutor about the courses that Marco should take. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 23. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 23.
Hi, Marco. Come in.
Thanks. I've got a bit stuck trying to select courses for next semester. Could you help me, please?
Of course. Sit down. First of all, most people just go for the areas of business that they're interested in, but even if something doesn't look very stimulating, it's important that you can use it once you get a job. It's not much good choosing areas that aren't going to be helpful later on.
Right. I want to go into management, so I'll need to think about that. And should I start specialising in a particular area yet?
I don't think that's wise at this stage. It's better to aim for a wide variety of subjects, especially as management covers so many possibilities. You shouldn't be limiting your choices for later on.
Yes, I see.
You should also look at how the course is made up. Will you have regular seminars and tutorials, for example, as well as lectures?
Okay. Some of the lecturers are quite big names in their fields, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Should I aim to go to their courses?
Well, remember that the lecturers who aren't well known may still be very good teachers. I'd say we have a consistently high standard of teaching in this department, so you don't need to worry about it.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 24 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 24 to 30.
Good. Well, that's a great help.
Now, last time we met, you mentioned doing team management, didn't you?
That's right. I'm still quite keen on the idea.
Mm-hmm. The trouble is that because of changes in the content of various courses, team management overlaps with the Introduction to Management course you took in your first year. So what you learned from it would be too little for the amount of time you'd have to spend on it.
I'll drop that idea then. Have you had a chance to look at the outline I wrote for my finance dissertation? I left it in your pigeonhole last week.
Yes. Why exactly do you want to write a dissertation instead of taking the finance modules? It'll be pretty demanding.
Well, I'm quite prepared to do the extra work because I'm keen to investigate something in depth, instead of just skating across the surface. I realise that a broader knowledge base may be more useful to my career, but I'm really keen to do this.
Right. Well, I had a quick look through your outline, and the first thing that struck me was that you'll have to be careful how you set about it, as the way you've organised it seems unnecessarily complex. The data that you want to collect and analyse is potentially valuable, but you'll need to narrow down the subject matter to make the whole thing manageable.
Okay. I'll have another look at it. I was talking to Professor Briggs about it yesterday, and I got some more ideas then. For part of the dissertation, I was thinking of trying to persuade finance managers from 3 or 4 companies to let me ask them about their company finances. If not, I think I'll have to change to another topic.
Well, go ahead then. I could give you some names.
Thanks.
Now, let's talk about practicalities. Your dissertation must be finalised by the end of May, so you should aim to finish the first draft by the end of March. Is that feasible?
Yes, it shouldn't be a problem. I'll need to register for the dissertation, won't I? Is that with the registrar's department?
No, it's internal to this department, so you just need to let the secretary know. Do that as soon as you're sure you're going to write the dissertation.
Okay.
Then, to analyse your statistics, you're going to need some suitable software. If I were you, I'd drop into the computer office and ask them for a copy.
Right. So, if I revise my outline, can I...
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Part 4.
You will hear a talk about a research project on the tiger shark. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the research project I've been involved in on the tiger shark. First of all, some background information. The tiger shark, also known as the leopard shark, is often thought to have got its name from its aggressive nature. But in actual fact, it's called that because it has dark bands similar to those on a tiger's body. It is a huge creature, growing up to lengths of 6.5 meters. It can be found just about everywhere throughout the world's temperate and tropical seas, but it is most often found along the coast rather than the open sea. In terms of feeding, tiger sharks tend to be most active at night and are solitary hunters. Their preferred prey includes other sharks, turtles, seabirds, and dolphins, to name but a few. However, it's not uncommon to find garbage in its stomach. This is because it tends to feed in areas such as harbors and river inlets, where there is a lot of human activity. Now to the project itself. We are particularly interested in some studies that have been done in the Rain Island area. Observations here have shown that there is a large population of tiger sharks present in the summer during the turtle nesting season. However, during the winter months the sharks disappear. So we decided to do some of our own research there. The first step was to tag a number of sharks so that we could follow their movements. To do this, we first needed to catch the sharks. Early in the morning, we baited lines with large bits of fish and set them in place. These lines were then checked every 3 or 4 hours. If no sharks were caught, the baits were replaced. Once a shark had been caught on one of the baited hooks, it was pulled in close to the boat and secured so that we could carry out a number of brief activities to aid our research. This usually took no more than about 10 minutes and was carried out as carefully as possible to minimize any stress to the shark. Each of the tiger sharks that we caught was measured and fitted with an identification tag, and also a small amount of tissue was taken for genetic studies. For some larger sharks over 3 meters long, we also inserted into the belly a special acoustic tag capable of sending satellite signals, while on other large sharks we attached a camera to the dorsal fin to enable us to study the behavior and habitat use of the sharks. After this, the shark was released, and we were able to follow its movements. So what was the purpose of all this tagging? Well, while we were already familiar with some aspects of the tiger shark's behavior and food sources, what we hoped to do in this project was to see exactly what factors affected the migration patterns of tiger sharks and whether it was, in fact, food, weather, and reproductive needs. These are some of our findings. On February 21st, a large female shark, whom we named Natalie, was attracted to our research boat at the northern tip of Rain Island and fitted with one of the satellite tags I've just mentioned. No transmissions were received from Natalie between April 2nd and April 29th, indicating that she didn't surface to feed during this period. The area in which she was last reported is very shallow, suggesting that she may have changed her feeding preferences during this period to focus on prey found on the sea floor. We also made a number of other discoveries, thanks to the various transmitters we used. It seems that tiger sharks move back and forth between the ocean floor and the surface quite often. This may help the sharks conserve energy while they swim, but it probably also helps them hunt, since this movement back and forth maximizes its chances of not being detected by its prey until the last minute. So far, our findings have not been conclusive. However, we have gained some very interesting insights into the behavior of tiger sharks and are now hoping to develop our research further.
That is the end of part 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
That is the end of the listening test.